Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life in your world and how's things where you are? Hope everything is good. Today was one of those days where, first of all, I think I told you, if you go back a while ago, I was talking about a project that I've been working on that was replacing a system that a gentleman who was retiring had created in I don't know, the 90s. It was created with a technology that doesn't exist anymore. And it's on a very outdated server, and we decided to upgrade and move all of that off onto something more modern, web-based. What I do, right? Well, we finally got one of the DBAs to. I don't mean that. I didn't mean that to sound like we finally got help. More like we finally got the time to sit down and go over the data and figure out how to format it best for us, the programmers. And we got that working. And so today was the day for me to really dive back in on that project and start going back through the work that I had done like a month ago. And in that time, in this last month, I've been working on my software, the software that I created years ago and brought with me, which is just straight up PHP. That's it. It's just a PHP program. No frameworks, not just me, just Chevee's creation. And now back to this project, which is created using a framework called Laravel. And I really like Laravel, and I've thought long and hard about whether it's worth my time to convert my project to Laravel. I don't think it is. It's not. It's currently not being used by enough people to justify that. If it was a project that was being used by thousands and upon thousands, I maybe would consider it. Right now, it's just used by a few thousand people. So it's not that big of a deal. But I really like the framework. The thing is, so all of this is to say that my brain, it's kind of fascinating how little information I can keep at one time. I work with Laravel, have worked with Laravel every day for the last 2 years. Not every day, that's a complete lie, as I'm about to explain to you. I've worked with it a lot over the last 2 years. It's what most of our projects are built in. Done all kinds of stuff with it, and it's a good framework, and it's good technology to use for this particular problem that we're solving. But after just 1 month of not using it, of using just plain PHP my way, and on top of that, learning Java, learning a backend in Java, I completely forgot how Laravel works. Like, opening the code base and looking at it was just like, what is this? I don't know. I don't remember how to make simple things. And it's really kind of fascinating to me that it's almost like, thinking with the computer analogy that my brain, like being a hard drive, there was not enough room to fit the new knowledge of Java. So I just kind of dumped stuff I hadn't been using recently, which was this Laravel stuff. And it really backtracked. I was like, man, I don't even know where to go. Where do I even dive into this? And I had to ask my coworker some really basic things today. Like, I don't remember how to do this. How do I do that? And he was like, what do you mean? Just do this. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So it's kind of frustrating, but fascinating at the same time. I always like to look at the way my brain remembers and thinks, and moments like those when it doesn't do either makes me really pause and think, man, how did I get to this point that I've forgotten something that I've been using a lot over the last 2 years? It shouldn't be a skill that just fades that quickly. But I guess, compound it with the learning other technologies on top of, doing my daily work. There's only so much space in there. Like anything, if you don't use a skill, it degrades, and you'll lose the ability to jump back in. But generally, and it was the case today, you come up to speed pretty quick. Like, you're like, okay, I remember how to do this, and you pretty quickly get back on top. But man, it felt so weird. It feels like it's so frustrating because I know it, but have no ability to recall it at that point in time. Like, I know how to do this, but why can't I remember how to do it? I don't know. Brains are weird. I don't know if there's a point to this talk. I just wanted to tell you about that because it was really kind of interesting and frustrating all at the same time today. It was kind of like, okay, yeah, let's just push through this and it'll make sense in the end. And it did. So, yeah. How was your day? Why don't you tell me something about your day in the comments? I love hearing from you. So thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, being wonderful people. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Alexa, tell me a random fact.
The word window literally means wind eye. Originally it referred to a hole in a roof without glass, so you could see out of it but it let the wind in.
Wind eye. Oh, E-Y-E. I was really confused at first.